my live performance, I'll use the Akai APC40 and the Native Instruments machine, and I'll use them both to control Ableton Live. Now the Akai APC40 has 8 clips here which you can launch, and if you press the button it will launch the clips within Ableton Live, and as well as that you have a scene launch at the end which will basically launch every clip that's on that row. So I can go down the banks using this scroll pad, and as you can see the lights are moving, and the lights indicate that there's something on that channel. So I can either play a whole row if I press that button, or if I want to just launch individual clips, I can do. Now over here I have send and returns. Now I set up an A and a B send. On A is reverb and on B is delay, and depending on which one's selected you have 8 channels here where you can send the relevant send to the plugin. So at the moment it's on A, and you can see there's a lot that's been sent on these 3 channels and a little bit on channel 5 as well. I think that's because these are the crashes and the white noise which have got a lot of reverb on. 7 and 6 was the instrumental track and the a cappella track, so they were used, reverb was used on them to create an effect. Down here you can control individual plugins, which I didn't really use that much of in the performance, but there was delay set up on them, so if I wanted to just send delay to a single track, that was possible as well. Now moving on to machine. Machine, I just used these 8 faders here. The reason why I wanted to use these is because you can MIDI map them separately, whereas the Akai APC40, it's all been mapped out for you with the software that's given with the equipment, whereas machine is literally just a MIDI controller, so you can select anything yourself. So I use these for filters and delays. I set them up on 2 different channels, and this is the a cappella channel here, and you can see I've got filter, feedback from the delay and the mix of the delay, and again the filter, the feedback and the mix for if I'm playing the whole track. And again I labelled this 1 to 8, and it's got all the relevant names of what the channels do. So when using the knobs and faders within the machine, there's no way of knowing how much that's going to be affecting the individual plugins, because the plugins are displayed on the monitor screen. However, I'm using the monitor screen to show Ableton Live, so I can't see how much everything has been affected. So what I basically did is I drew a table here which is basically showing MIDI notes or MIDI values and how much it will be affecting the individual plugin. So if it's at 64, it's around halfway using the plugin. And then when I'm using these individual faders or knobs, you can see here that the MIDI value is changing. So if I wanted it halfway up, I would just have it around 64, and then I know that the plugin will be halfway up. So it's just a way of me calculating how much reverb and feedback on the delays is being used.